We'll start with Michael Lev.
Jay, you and your team talk a lot about responding to adversity, given that you had lost 2 games in a row, and then also saw that early lead today evaporate. In what ways was this game an example of that?
Yeah, I mean, the past is only relevant if you make it relevant. And we wanted to play with a lot of energy and enthusiasm today. We have some players and pitchers that have a lot of miles on their body and arms early in the season right now. And so I had some concerns about physically where we were, but I'm proud of the team for responding. Again, 9 innings, 27 outs. There's no clock. We really have had one bad offensive game in the last 3 weeks, so with that being said, I had great confidence that we would get back in character today. And we did that. I thought TJ was outstanding for the first 3 innings. I mean, man, you can't get through the lineup one time any better than that. Hit a little speed bump, and, we're very fortunate to have Preston and Ian and Austin, 3 quality pitchers that, on the 4th game of a weekend we could still go to like that. And they did a great job. So I'm pleased with this win. Like I said, we're kind of disappointed on the weekend as a whole, but I'm pleased with what we did today.
Sure. Speaking of players who have mileage on them, Jacob Lass and Dante Williams are probably your most experienced offensive players. How big a deal is it? How vital is it for them to have the kind of offensive days that they did today?
Yeah, we needed it. I just think it adds a different element to the lineup. I think, when you're looking at Ryan and Brandon, Jacob Berry, certainly, Blake Paul when he's healthy, all of those guys, Daniel Susak, all those guys are threats for extra base hits and for home runs. Dante and Jacob are very balanced attack type players, as I would call them, in terms there's a number of ways they can beat you when they're at their best. And so they make us a dynamic team. And that was really good to see out of both of them today.
Could you make a case that Preston has been your MVP so far this season?
No question about it. I mean, and I don't want to take away anything from anybody else, but yes, no question about it. I don't know what the win-loss is when he's in the game. I just know the leverage of the situations and his reliability to execute and come through has put us on the right side of things. And I really just felt in the 5th inning that we needed to go to him to kind of stem the tide right there, that if we could stop him right there, that was going to be the most critical point in the game. We had a lot of game left, but I felt like we were going to score, and I'm happy that it worked out that way.
Sure. You completed, the pre-conference portion of the season. What's your assessment of how things have gone so far?
I wish we were 16-0. I mean, that's just my competitive nature. I think it's way more positive than negative. I think there were certainly some things that were exposed that we need to continue to improve on, which I'm glad we do not have a midweek game, that we can get into some really quality practice, some individual work with some guys. I like how hard these guys play. And I think we've played a good schedule. I think our opponents have played pretty well. So I think we're battle tested, which I think is positive. I think a lot of people have played us knowing that we have a good team. And what I mean for that, have really played hard against us. And I think that's going to benefit us as we move forward.
Next question, Matt Moreno.
Was there anything specific that you guys maybe changed up or you were kind of harping on going into today's game at the plate that you wanted to kind of see, and what we're able to see just from your batters at the plate today?
Yeah, I think, Matt, that's a good question. I think we just wanted to kind of get recommitted to our approach. And I've mentioned this before. The situation can't supersede your plan. I felt like some guys got a little frustrated last night, maybe hitting some balls hard, different style of pitcher than we've seen. And we didn't do a great job with it. So I wanted to kind of get back to ourselves, because sure, we lost the night before, but we did score 9 runs. You know what I mean? So I think it was a no panic or no frustration type deal. We just don't want that frustration to play. And I thought the guys did a good job today. I really do. I mean, you can say what you want, but I thought we got back to being ourselves, which I was very pleased to see. And, Michael had mentioned Dante and Jacob, getting those guys going alongside those other guys that have been hot. I thought there was a lot of positive contributions. I thought it was a team day, which I thought was great. And it gives me great confidence that you might get us a time or two through the order, might get us in a game, but these guys are going to be able to respond in the fashion that is going to give us a chance to be successful.
For a team that's 12-4, you mentioned you'd like to go 16-0, but you guys have faced a decent amount of adversity already. How much does that kind of help you and prepare you for kind of what's to come?
Well, I think when you're in my chair or our chair as coaches and as players at this level of Division I baseball, it's inevitable. I think what I've seen some players on our team handle it in a very mature fashion this year. And sometimes that takes time and learning experience. And that was one of the things I wasn't sure about coming into the year, to be honest with you, just with losing last season. But I'm very pleased with the maturity of the team. There's only a couple times where I feel like we've gotten out of character, and I don't think it's abnormal at this point in the year, especially with the unique year that it is. I think all those experiences are going to benefit us greatly, and really, I'm really interested in moving forward. Like I said, I feel good about the competition that we've played. I feel how we've been tested is going to help us. I feel like we have a good roadmap of the things that we need to do better and get ourselves prepared. So all of that is very, very valuable.
Next question is Seth Litwin.
Hi, Coach. You were able to get some guys in who don't get, as many innings as others. What's that like, just to kind of spread it around and get some guys some playing time?
We have good players throughout our roster, and, I was just told the team, the 27-man roster for Pac-12 games, it's going to change based on what we need, you know what I mean? And there's guys that aren't going to be on or go to UCLA this weekend that I believe can really make a positive contribution to our team. And probably more important to me than anything else is that we remain a team. I've talked about them pulling for each other, and there's guys that bust their tail day in and day out that work hard, that deserve opportunities to play. They just might have a guy that's a little bit better than them right now, today, or more prepared than they are. And so I took an opportunity to get a few guys in there. There's a couple more guys I would have liked to have gotten in there, but they deserve it. I want to keep guys improving where we have spots, and I want us to remain a team, because there's a lot of guys that, for the 7 months we've been back and longer for some of them, have made a really positive contribution to our program. And we've played a good schedule, you know what I mean? And we've played some kind of wacky games where you never really feel like you have it in the bag. And we certainly don't want to lose a lead late because we didn't do what was in the best interest of winning the game.
Mm-hmm. And then today was the biggest attendance, I think, so far this year. And it was a little rowdy out there. I could hear it from the press box. What kind of energy does that bring to the team, especially when you guys have, big innings where you put up, 4 or 5 runs?
Yeah, I thought it was the best day so far of that. And I can't tell our fans how much I appreciate that enough, because I wouldn't say we were dragging. I just had some concerns about the mental and physical readiness of our team based on, we traveled last weekend, grueling schedule. We came back. It's been kind of a weird weekend, shifting things around. A lot of guys, like I said, have played really hard and worked really hard. They only have 1 speed. So I feel like we really fed off the energy of the fans. I hope we get more in here by the time Oregon gets here. I think that'll be a great series, and we want to create a really good home field advantage for that weekend.
Thanks, Coach.
Are there any more questions for Coach? All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
All right, questions for Jacob Blast, please raise your hand. Start with Michael Love.
Jacob, Jay was just saying that he was a little bit concerned about the energy level today, given that, it's yet another 4-game series. You had the late game last night. He wanted to make sure that you guys, played with the requisite amount of enthusiasm today. What was your sense of the energy and enthusiasm that the club had out there?
Good. I think after yesterday's disappointing game, I think we all came out with a little bit of a chip on our shoulder and just wanted to come out and play consistent. I feel like that's kind of our thing right now. I feel like we're a really talented team and we can do a lot of things, but we just got to work on consistency, and that's kind of our main goal. And as far as energy, like having consistent energy, that just provides and makes baseball more fun. And the more fun baseball is, I feel like the better we're going to play as a team.
Sure. You guys have shown several times this season that you can respond to adversity. Was today just kind of another example of that?
Yeah, definitely. I think our team, we want to be able to win any type of game that we're in, and I feel like whether we're down or we're up, I feel like we can always feel like we're in the game, especially with our offense. We have a lot of talented people on our offense, and I feel like no deficit is big enough, so we just got to keep playing like pitch by pitch. And when we're down, just don't panic and just keep doing our bats and get the bat to the next guy.
Sure. You had one of your best offensive performances of the season. How have you been feeling up at the plate?
Good. It's just it's definitely a work in progress. Just trying to get things ready to go, and things are starting to feel a little bit better. In Frisco, I did things felt really good out there, and just trying to replicate that and just keep working hard and just do my thing to help the team win. I feel like that's kind of when I'm up there. I want to do whatever it takes to help us win and help move the offense so we can score runs.
Sure. Do you have one or two things that you always kind of want to do or need to do when you're up at the plate to make sure that everything is in sync?
Oh yeah, I just like to take a deep breath each time. I feel like that's really important to me, just to calm me down and just kind of be myself up there and just be super relaxed. And then as far as like mechanics, it kind of depends on what like things are feeling and how things are feeling, and it's kind of what we're working on with the coaching staff, and they really helped me get my swing to where I want it to be.
Sure. I asked Jay if he thought that Preston Price was the MVP of the team so far, and he said no question about it. What do you think? You think Preston is the pick?
Yeah, he's been awesome this year, and I can't wait to keep seeing him do it. Every time he comes in there, he just on defense. It's just like a relief when we see Preston warming up. It's just like, all right, here we go. Like it's our game now. We should have a lot of confidence in him, and he has a lot of confidence in himself. And I feel like he's in a really good place right now.
Sure. How tough is that slider to hit? I'm sure you faced him in practice.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a definitely next level pitch, and I feel like it looks like it keeps getting better and better. And it's kind of funny watching the other guys face it. I'd rather have him on my team for sure than the other team.
Next question, Matt Moreno.
When you guys have a performance like you did yesterday at the plate, it doesn't happen often for you guys, but how much do you as hitters just take that to heart and really try and put together a game like you had today at the plate?
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like baseball is one of those sports we have to bounce back as soon as possible. It's not always going to go perfect, and I feel like our team has done a really good job this year of responding, and we need to make sure we can do that on a consistent basis. But also like take those games and look at them and like try to see what went wrong so it doesn't happen again in the future, so we can just stay ready and stay committed to our process and just be the best offense that we can be.
Both for you personally and maybe even for the team as well. Was there anything you guys maybe tried to change about your approach today from yesterday just to kind of have more success?
We just kind of we kind of focused on like a team-oriented day, just like get the at-bat to the next guy and try to have 3 quality at-bats in a row and just see how many times we can do that. And I feel like it definitely worked today, and it's kind of like our template for offense. I'm sure you guys have heard it before, but I feel like when we keep like playing for each other and not for ourselves, I feel like that's a really big thing, and I feel like it just helps our team get like good momentum, because I feel like our teams, like when we're rolling, and when we're scoring 15 runs, like no one's gonna beat us. So yeah.
Obviously, you guys had that long layoff from last season. How close are you to kind of feeling that usual rhythm that you want to feel during the course of a season and kind of after such, a long layoff?
Yeah, I feel like we're getting pretty into it. We've played 4 games pretty much every weekend, so we're pretty much in full season mode. So I feel like we're pretty much ready to go, and we're really excited to for this weekend to start a conference play. So that should be a good time.
Next question is Seth Litwin.
Hey, so the biggest attendance of the year so far. What kind of energy that bring to the team? Coach Johnson said that it, kind of gave you guys a little jolt of energy almost. It was a little rowdy today, and I could hear from the press box they were screaming. So what kind of energy does bring the team?
Oh, that's awesome. We have awesome fans here. I feel like they're super into it, and it was just like fun to like look around. Like me and Tony were when they're doing like a pitching change, we were just like standing there looking around. We're like, this is pretty cool. Like I feel like things have been so different, and today kind of felt like a little bit normal, like kind of like last year, like looking on both sides of like the stands and just seeing them. And it's just really cool having their support behind us, because I feel like their energy feeds into our energy, and I feel like it's just like it was just really fun, and it's just like felt almost like normal baseball for like the first time in a long time. So that was really cool.
How much fun do you have playing Coach Johnson's, brand of, being aggressive on the base pass, all the, sacrifice bunts and squeezes and all that kind of stuff?
I love it. I feel like like base running is kind of one of my favorite things. I feel like my athleticism is probably my best tool, and I feel like just like he lets us just go out there and like play free, and I feel like he's taught us so much about base running and like all that stuff. And it's just fun. Like our style of baseball, I feel like can beat anyone, so I really enjoy it.
Now, how excited are you to head into Pac-12 play and, kind of play some rivals?
I'm really excited. It's we obviously didn't get the opportunity to do it last year, so I feel like we're all looking forward to it this year, and it should be it's gonna be really fun. Looking forward to it.
All right, thank you.
Next question, Matt Moreno.
For a team that's 12-4, you guys have faced quite a bit of adversity already this season. How do you feel like that has maybe prepared you guys, those challenges for kind of what's to come in starting with this weekend on the road?
Yeah, I feel like you just gotta keep learning from past experiences, both good and bad. I feel like we've had a lot of really good moments this year, and then we've had a few moments that weren't so good. And I feel like just learn from those ones, especially because I feel like we always say like people are defined by like their past, or like you're defined by like what you're gonna do in the future. And I feel like when we like think of like the past and we do good stuff for the future, I feel like that would really help us. And then, yeah.
Any more questions for Jacob? All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you guys.